What actually happened in the deep stretch?
We don't actually know exactly why.
Leave my presence URL.
Passive mechanical tension, sir. So yeah, continuing on with our physiological fundamentals series, we're going to be talking about what truly happens in the deep stretch, passive mechanical tension. So muscle fibers are made up of segments called sarcomeres, and inside of these sarcomeres there is a molecule called titin, and you can think of titin acting like this rubber band that resists being stretched. So if I stretch a muscle fiber, then obviously the segments of that muscle fiber, the sarcomeres, are going to stretch. And if those sarcomeres stretch past a certain threshold, which is the descending limb of the length-tension relationship, and enough passive forces from the stretching of titin is going to be generated to where the titin will detect the passive mechanical tension from that and trigger stretch-mediated hypertrophy. And this is a different kind of hypertrophy than I talked about last time with active mechanical tension. With that, you're adding myofibrils inside of the sarcomere in parallel. With this, you're adding more sarcomeres in a series. The reason why some muscle fibers do not experience stretch-mediated hypertrophy is because of the length-tension relationship. You can basically think about this as telling us how many sarcomeres in a series that muscle already has. So if a muscle has a lot of sarcomeres in a series, then it's going to be more here towards the ascending limb of the length-tension relationship. But if the muscle fiber has less sarcomeres in a series, then it's going to be more here on the descending limb of the length-tension relationship. And in order for a muscle fiber to experience stretch-mediated hypertrophy, it must be on the descending limb of the length-tension relationship. The reason why a muscle must not have many sarcomeres in a series in order to experience stretch-mediated hypertrophy is because, as you can see here, this is a muscle fiber with less sarcomeres in a series. When we stretch the muscle fiber, each sarcomere is stretched more, but if we have more sarcomeres in a series, each sarcomere is going to be stretched less. So a muscle being on the descending limb of the length-tension relationship basically tells us that it does not have enough sarcomeres in a series and thus can experience it. This is also why muscles stop getting stretch-mediated hypertrophy pretty fast, because if you have a muscle that can experience stretch-mediated hypertrophy, and this is what it's like in the beginning when you stretch the sarcomere, as you add more sarcomeres in a series, then each sarcomere is going to be stretched less and less and less and less to where you can no longer experience stretch-mediated hypertrophy. And last, you might be wondering, oh, does this stretch-mediated hypertrophy make my muscles look longer, or like, how does it work? Because the origin and insertion of the muscle isn't changing. It won't really look different to regular hypertrophy because it just bulges out and just makes the muscles look bigger. So yeah, that was a pretty good explanation, so tune in next time for the last part of this series, probably.